We're live. Hi. Hello?
Do we have ghosts?
Holy shit.
A ghost! What was that
Hey
from?
guys, it's Adam and Josh. Broke your
Hey,
heads.
hello, welcome, bienvenido, and all that jazz. Do
All
you remember
that
that from? Do you remember?
jazz.
Do you remember that? It's a ghost.
I can only think of one thing.
Well, there is only one cartoon that was.
Doinks!
No, it's not Scooby Doo.
That's what my one
What's the
thing.
only ghost cartoon you've ever heard of in
Zoinks!
your life?
Casper?
There you go. Remember he's like floating along, la 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 la
Yes, I
la,
do.
and then they always inevitably they always like look at me like, oh, you're a ghost, and they run away, and he's like, hey, just Casper.
Hey, listen, side note, we just alienated half of our audience with
Our
that.
ghost audience. Well, welcome, folks. We're glad you're back with our weekly adventures. Hoping you're enjoying them.
Hope so.
Are you enjoying them so far?
I like them, and it's only going to get better, because again, for those who don't recall, I don't know if we share, but we had started this a few years back, and we kind of reincarnated it, and so this is the new phase. So getting into the flow, into the groove,
and they'll know that because obviously when they're on our site, they'll see some of the old stuff,
that's right.
Which is meh. There's
now
a couple in there,
and one thing in those videos, you'll see that over the past few years, I really haven't aged one drop. I absolutely.
You want to explain why?
Same. Well, it's a new formula I created, and
it's not a new formula, folks. He's a vampire. He is a vampire. He drinks human blood.
I do,
for the sake of staying young forever. Here you have a topic to discuss.
I do, and it came to me, and I think this will be the last bathroom topic, but it just came to me as I was going. Yes,
you in the bathroom.
I'm sorry. It came to me while I was taking a piss the other day at home. And here's
do you take a piss or do you leave a piss? Why do we take things? We're not taking it.
I have to give a piss. You're right. It's called I have to give a piss.
Right. It's the same thing too. Like I'm taking a crap. I'm taking a shit. You're not. Going? If you're taking it, you got problems.
Well, you know what? Somebody created this, and we've run with it for all of our lives, and it's incorrect. You're right. I agree with you.
Yes.
I had to give a piss the other day in front of an audience, mind you.
Ooh. Wow.
now that works. I had to give a speech.
Okay.
I had to. You don't say I had to take a speech.
That's right.
It's like
I took a speech.
Yeah.
Took a speech in front of everybody.
All right. So here's the topic, right? And I think you're definitely going to be able to relate to this and help shed some light. Now, it's going to give us a chance to be honest with ourselves and our listeners. Are you ready?
I don't know if I'm ready to pull back the curtain so much.
Okay. Now, this only refers to going number one, which is urinating.
Urination.
It's called urination.
World
Tour.
Not my nation. It's urination.
And this is what it comes down to. Josh, I'm going to start just by asking you a question. And you can give me in general. It doesn't have to be specific every time because there's going to be variations. When you have to take a piss at home, at the office, in general, are you washing your hands? Yes or no? Go.
At home?
At home and in the office.
When I'm leaving a piss, I wash my hands in the office. At home, half and half, maybe 30%.
I could see you're starting to admit the truth. Now, let's dive back into the work. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you wash your hands every time at work, how often would you say you wash your hands after a piss at work? Wash with water, not hand sanitizer. Water in the sink.
Well, see, now you are actually giving my loophole because you just said it. So, yeah, I wash with water every time. But do I wash with soap?
Okay. I'm so glad you said that because this is part of it, number one. When do you decide to use just the water? Just every time in general?
As long as I'm not being spied upon. If there's nobody else in the restroom. If there's nobody next to me washing his hands.
Okay,
but
so
if somebody there watching me, then the soap has to come out. The jig is up.
If there's no one in the bathroom, do you take a piss and just leave?
No, I have.
Be honest.
I have, but here's the thing. I get so afraid that because with our, again, this is you and I, we know our restrooms. Back to your question, do I always wash my hands if I'm alone? No, that percentage probably drops down to 75%. If I want to get in, get out.
Okay, I like that. And what is the purpose of just running water over your hands with no soap and then leaving?
It's
because
more. It's
that
more of a
happens.
why do you wear masks nowadays when they don't do anything? It
Thank
makes
you.
people feel good about themselves and makes people feel, oh, this person's wearing a mask. Oh, this person washed their hands, so they're clean and
Yes.
sanitary.
But I mean, you've seen this happens. A lot of people do this. I never was the one to do that. I'm just going to wet my hands. Look, I'm cleaning up. I got to go. Now, that happens quite often. I've seen that for years. Have you? I'm sure you have. Where
I
people
don't think
just
I've
wash their hands
seen
with
it.
water.
Oh, you know I have. You're right,
Yeah.
and which is pretty brazen. If you do that next to me, and you know that I'm watching you do it with only water,
I've seen it. No,
it's
blatantly.
yeah,
I've seen it.
yeah.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I'd rather not wash my hands and leave.
Well, the water gives you something. There's some adjutant there,
It does. It's the principle, though. Like, you're at the sink. There's
right? But
soap.
if I saw you go and take a leak, handle your junk, and then walk by the sink on the way out, I'm like, you're an animal. What a pig.
Exactly. Yes, you are going to pass judgment on me.
Of course.
The same way I'm going to pass judgment on you just for wetting your hands and leaving. You're
But
smearing the bacteria or whatever you want to say all over your hands with water. Whee, look at
so are
me.
you saying do you wash your hands every time?
Well, let me say I'm very similar to you in in the
So
method.
you're more comfortable at home.
More comfortable at home.
Yes. But do
When
you just use water
no,
to
no,
appease somebody? So then
no,
you're telling me
nope. I will not do that.
so back to the work thing. So whenever you're at work, you wash your hands thoroughly every time.
No,
No, because you use the escape clause, the hand sanitizer, which is outside the door.
that's correct.
See, that's the whole difference. Now,
That's
and that's what I
different.
do. Even if I just use water, I'm gonna go. And here's the thing with the hand sanitizer, and I've told you this before. When I am sitting there and I haven't used the sink, but there's somebody in the sink area who will be following
Yes.
me out soon,
Oh
I want
God.
to slowly walk out to the hand sanitizer.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait, even if I gotta wait 2 or 3 or 4 seconds to make sure they open the door and see I'm using the sanitizer. See, look at me.
Don't judge me.
Come on,
They
I
are
didn't use the
clean.
soap and water, but I'm using the sanitizer. So they
I
at
do the
least see
same
that.
thing. I do the same thing. It's a psychological factor. It's very wearing on my brain that I need to play that game. But it's either that or I'm going to get judged. And if I get judged, I hope I just don't see them again for a period of time where they'll forget that I was the no hand washing bastard.
True, and I think there were a couple of people that we knew were several.
New.
They repeated that like 2 or 3 times, but they wouldn't do it. So in our minds, they were dirty little animals.
Maybe I respect them now.
Do you respect them now,
You're not going to play the game, are you?
or is it just laziness? Because that's what I think it is.
You know what? I think it really comes down to how you grew up and your etiquette, sort of hygiene, like what you
Were you told to wash your hands before dinner?
You know what? That's a good one. I think at some point when I was young, yeah. I don't
'Cause
think
I
it was a
wasn't.
constant. I don't think it was constant by any means, but there were times I'd say.
And I had friends who were, and I'd go to their house, and I always had to wash up before dinner. And I'm sure they're somebody who would always wash their hands after they use the bathroom because they're just conditioned to it.
Now let's change gears slightly with this topic. When you're at home and you go to the bathroom and you don't wash your hands after taking a piss, number 2 is
Yes.
absolutely unacceptable. We know that goes without saying. But you just finished number 1. Does anyone in your home say anything to you like, did you not wash your hands?
No.
Be honest.
No.
That never happens. That's
No.
you've never happened once.
No.
That's bullshit.
Well, how it happens to you apparently, huh? You got some busybodies at your household.
Busted.
Happy? What were you doing in there?
Yeah, I mean, I have got busted. That my family is like, what are you doing? I was like, yo, do you know how long in my life I haven't done this like this? Like,
So they get on
nothing's
you for
ever
not
happened?
washing your hands?
That yes.
Is it only of late because of the global
No.
pandemic? No, this is
No.
before that.
That sounded good.
Global pandemic.
Boom.
This is before that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, because I think we're like very similar. Like this is how we kind of came up, right?
Yeah.
You know, you wash your hands sometimes.
Yeah, if you look down and you see like dirt, then you're gonna wash your hands. Otherwise, I'm not wading out in mountains of shit and what I'm a pretty clean person. I like to stay clean for the most part, and I understand germs are everywhere and you can't. They're all around.
Yeah.
But like you said, in the same way. I mean, unless it's visible, I'm pretty much just going to give it a pass. But I do want to say this because you just brought it up. You said the number 2 piece, and I got a little caveat about that, my friend. During this global pandemic, we all had the issues with toilet paper at the beginning, correct?
Yes.
Where toilet
Well,
paper
I
was
didn't,
gold.
but yeah.
There was a run on it.
Yep.
Well, I was a smart man, and I went out and I bought myself a bidet.
Ooh, and you bought the bidet because of
Yes.
this
In my
specifically?
mind, I said to my wife, I'm going to get this because I'm going to save us so much money on toilet paper.
I'm going to justify this.
That's right.
This
Whatever
expense.
I can do to justify it. So, and before it, because my wife is dead set against it, and I've had it now for 2 months, she hasn't used it.
And before you continue, that's my wife would be the exact same way, and it's unacceptable. You did actually an intuitive, smart thing by buying that, because not only because of the pandemic, but just in
Global
general.
pandemic.
So it's absurd that both of our wives are like, "No, I'm not doing
Right.
that."
And I even said, like, one of these days you're going to use it. When no one's in the house, you're going to use it. And she's like, nope. And I believe her. Like my wife, I'm sure
Oh, yeah.
your wife, she's like,
Yeah.
nope, not going to happen. And so I explained to her, because it was very easy for me to understand, if for some reason you happen to wipe yourself during the act of number 2 and you get a little bit of extra fecal matter upon your hand somehow, let's say it slipped or whatever,
Oh,
do you just wipe that off with the toilet paper and throw it away?
Well, in the past, yes, I would do
You
that.
little beast.
What else can I do? I don't have a bidet.
No, you're going to take your hand over to the sink and wash it with water.
But I can't do that while I'm on the toilet.
No, listen, I'm saying when you wipe yourself, this is no bidet. This is before you had a bidet.
Okay.
And you wipe yourself and you slip and you throw the tissue or the toilet paper and then like, oh, wait a minute, there's a little bit in my hand.
A little bit. Normally it's a lot.
Got a little bit of little. So, but you're going to go to the sink, right? And you're going to use water and wash it off, correct?
Of course, but I don't do that till the end. I get up. I don't use that hand.
Yep.
My hand is free. That I wash and I take care of it. I'm not getting up midstream. Let's put it like that.
No. You finish your business. You take care of it. I get that. So what I explained to my wife was, listen, if that happens, you're going to use water. So it's the same thing. When you just dry wipe and that's it, I think you're leaving a lot more on there. And that's why the bidet, my friend, has been a beautiful thing for me.
Josh, let me say, I agree with you 100%. However, what you've just explained is quite possibly one of the hardest things that any man will ever have to do in their life. And that is trying to sell their significant other on something that they believe in. It's almost near impossible. It will never be done. They would have to see it themselves because, like, their third cousin told them about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would say, yeah, I like it. Okay, it works. But they wouldn't give you credit.
Absolutely not. I would never. No. There may come a day where she uses it and loves it, but it will not be because of me or what I did. Somebody else told her. A pal, a friend.
Correct.
Yeah. But I'm done. I'm out of the question. It's no longer what I did and what I helped out.
No.
So I do love it, and I absolutely recommend it. They're pretty inexpensive. And I got it set up within 15 minutes.
I definitely want to get one. I was in Europe last year. I couldn't wait to use it.
Right. They're everywhere over in Europe.
I couldn't wait.
Yeah.
The first time the water was warm,
mm-hmm.
I was like, wow. Like the first sensation, I'll never forget because it was my first time. The sensation was like, I feel like I'm in like a jacuzzi.
Feels like the first time.
It felt like a jacuzzi. My ass was in a jacuzzi. Like it was so cool. It was so nice.
I'll say I went the cheaper route and bought the non-warm water. So it's just, and I was afraid about that, but it didn't bother me. I was like, whatever, it is what it is, but it still works. And I'm still very happy with it.
Hey, I commend you. I'm going to get one. There's no question.
I hope so. Let me ask you one more question as we are two men. I want to go ahead and throw you under the spotlight here for a moment because it's something I thought about. I'm not embarrassed to admit it, but in the mornings or at night, if I do have to go number 1, I'll sit down on the pot a lot. Do you do the same?
I love you.
I knew there was a reason why we loved each other.
I couldn't have been the only one. I've been doing that for several years now. And I remember when I said to myself years ago, I said, you know what? I'm sitting down in the middle of the night. I'm not fucking I'm tired. Like, I don't have time to be like, I'm
Yes.
gonna fall.
Yes. I agree. Now, and there are times in the morning when I do it, and then my wife walks in, and I have a little bit of shame. I'll be honest with you.
No, I don't. No shame for me. In
No
fact,
shame. Wife can walk in, no
I can't wait
problem.
till. Yeah, no problem for me. And as you know, I have issues, right? Because I have my conditions, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's this is really it's the word. It's really it's horrible, but it's only usually either in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning where I just can't like take a piss. It takes me like 5 minutes. So I'm sitting down in the toilet. I'm trying to go back to sleep because
Yeah.
I'm like, I know this is gonna be a process. And like sometimes I'll go and I'll finally go. I'll get back in bed. My leg fell asleep. Yeah. It's so annoying. So like now I'm like, you know what? It's me
Now you
versus
don't
the
care.
bladder. It's me
Yeah,
versus the bladder. I
absolutely.
win.
By any
I'm in
means
charge.
necessary.
That's right.
Yep.
So, but originally that wasn't the case why I started doing it,
Right. Well,
sitting down.
it was just more like, I'm tired. It's
Yeah.
late.
Fucking tired, man.
I like to sit down.
And you know what? It avoids my cats from getting sprayed with my piss because years ago I was standing up in the middle of the night taking a piss. The light was off. I don't turn the light on, just so you know. Do you?
No.
Okay,
No.
good.
And the thing is, like, when you do that, and especially, and I'm going to get a little bit of weird here, but especially after you've had relations. Okay, you know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
If you've
I
had
did
relations,
not have relations with that one.
with that woman, Miss Huwinski. Anyways, so after you had relations, you wake up, it's 2 a.m, and you go. When you unleash that stream,
Absolutely.
it goes
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
So you got to sit down. Like you said, I'm sure you pissed all over your cat one night.
I did. Let me, and to this story was the most sort of horrific yet funny thing that's ever happened. Like my cats were young. Obviously they were smaller, and one night in the middle of the night, I'm taking a piss. I swear, all of a sudden, one of my cats jumped right over the toilet, like through my stream.
Wow.
I was just like, "What?"
Crossing swords.
Talk about waking up. That'll wake you up. That was the funniest thing. That's
Jumped
never
into
happened.
your stream.
One of the cats jumped over the toilet through my stream, like you know what I'm saying, like
Over the toilet and through the stream to my friend Adam's house we go.
That was so funny, man. I'll never forget that. That was hysterical.
Oh my gosh. Well, folks, there you have it. I mean, 3 quick coming at you with hand washing, bidets, and sitting down. Quick cuts. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Come back for more because we're unabashed. We are not afraid to say what makes us tick. And
That's right.
hopefully, again, squash that button, subscribe, be our
Hey,
friend.
everybody down below.
Look in the link in the description. It's going to be right here, over here, somewhere.
If you're like my friends, they like to click that button up there.
Click the
Or
button.
sometimes it's up here.
Don't forget to click the bell because that way you get notifications anytime we do these videos, which will be every week.
Don't forget about the bell. Hey, bell. Hey,
Yeah.
and we're gonna no more. I think we're done with the bathroom stories. Like
I hope so.
I
You
don't
keep
think
on
there's
coming
gonna be
back
any
to
more.
it. I can keep on filling the trough, but I'm afraid we're going to lose some of our target audience.
He said trough.
Trough.
No more. We're done with the bathroom.
You hear that, folks? It's safe to come back. There'll be no more potty talk.
No, there's so much more we can talk about. We got rid of 2 more bathroom topics. That's it. We're both guilty.
Yes, we are. So we hope you enjoyed it, and come on back for more, folks.
Can't wait.
We got more for you. We'll see you soon, baby. Broken heads out.